So I hope everyone's keeping well and safe at home. I've been keeping busy. I have written another story and I've drawn some pictures to go with it. My story is about a bear called Marvin. Now Marvin is a big brown grizzly bear. Grrr. Actually, he's a little bit like the big brown bear behind me here. So my story is called Bear Hug and I hope you enjoy it. Marvin the bear lived alone. Sometimes he would walk through the forest and see other animals playing together. This made Marvin feel sad. Marvin wanted friends, but what he wanted most in the world was a hug. One day, when Marvin was feeling particularly lonely, he went out in search of a hug. It wasn't long before he saw two squirrels chasing each other around the forest floor. One squirrel pounced on the other and they collapsed in a heap, making squeaky giggling noises. Hee hee hee. Marvin smiled his biggest smile and he reached out his arms. But all the squirrels saw were his many sharp teeth and his big paws with his razor-sharp claws. "Hug," said Marvin in his friendliest voice. But the squirrels didn't speak bear, and to them it just sounded like grrr. "Ah, a bear! We must run away!" "Quick, let's find somewhere else to play," said the squirrels to each other as they scampered off. Poor Marvin. He doesn't mean to scare. He's just a bear in need of some care from someone big or as small as a bug. He's not fussed. All he wants is a hug. Marvin carried on through the forest and soon he came across a family of wolves. The small wolf pups were snuggling up to their mother. So baby wolves are called wolf pups. There they are. Marvin smiled his biggest smile. Can you smile your biggest smile? And reached out his paws. "Hug," said Marvin. There he is. The wolf pups yelped, "Ah!" and they ran off to the safety of their den. The mother wolf growled at Marvin, grrr, showing all of her teeth, and not in a friendly, smiley way either. Marvin could tell he wasn't going to get a hug here. Poor Marvin. He doesn't mean to scare. He's just a bear in need of some care from someone big or as small as a bug. He's not fussed. All he wants is a hug. Marvin carried on through the forest and soon he stopped to listen to a blackbird singing in a tree. Marvin looked at the blackbird's soft feathers. Do you think blackbirds give good hugs? They are very soft. Marvin smiled his biggest smile. Can you smile your biggest smile? He reached out his paws. "Hug," said Marvin. The blackbird squawked in terror and pecked one of Marvin's outstretched paws. Peck! Ow! Then it flew away as quick as it could. Oh, poor Marvin. He doesn't mean to scare. He's just a bear in need of some care from someone big or as small as a bug. He's not fussed. All he wants is a hug. Marvin trudged off through the forest with his head hung low. He kept walking for a very long time, until suddenly he looked up and realised he was in a part of the forest he didn't recognise. There were less trees here, and he could see some animals that he'd never seen before. They walked on 2 feet, and they didn't really have any fur. I wonder what they could be. They walk on 2 feet, don't really have any fur. They're humans. Marvin spied on these creatures from behind a tree. Let's see if I can find you a picture. There they are. Suddenly, he spotted something exciting. The smallest creature was carrying an even smaller bear. And every now and then, she would give it a big squeeze. The small creature was a bear hugger. So you probably can't see in the picture because it's very small, but the little creature, so the little girl, it's a little girl, is holding a teddy bear. And every now and then she's squeezing her teddy bear in a hug. The little creature went inside a big box, which Marvin thought must be her cave. So she's gone into the cabin there. Marvin crept around to the back of the box and looked through a peephole. Let's see. Here he is looking in. What's he looking through? It's a window. I don't know if you can see there, but this window, it's got my curtains. So I did actually get into a little bit of trouble from my mum for not appreciating my bedroom curtains in one of the earlier videos. So I've paid tribute by including them in one of the illustrations. So Marvin peeked through the window and he saw the small creature, the little girl, put the small bear under a blanket. Then she went back outside. So I think the little girl has tucked up her teddy in bed. That's where I like to keep my teddy. Marvin had an idea. If that little creature liked bear hugs, then who was better to give her the biggest, cuddliest, beariest hug of all than him? Oh, this would be a great surprise, thought Marvin. I wonder what Marvin's plan is. What's the surprise going to be, and is the little girl going to like it? Marvin climbed inside, so he's climbed through the window into the cabin. "Excuse me," he said, as he pushed the small bear out of the way. And then he got under the covers himself. And he waited. A little while later he heard footsteps. Marvin smiled his biggest, toothiest smile. Can you do your smile? He reached out his paws. Let's have a look at him. Ooh. Here he is. I don't know if you can see, but the bed here is going creak and it's bending under his weight. Also, the small bear, the teddy bear, has been pushed out of bed. Marvin smiled his biggest smile and reached out his paws. "Hug," he said in his friendliest, loudest voice, just as the small creature came through the door. Now, how would you feel if you came into your bedroom and you found a real-life grizzly bear? I wonder how she's going to react. "Ah!" screamed the small creature. It hurt Marvin's ears. And then 2 bigger creatures appeared, and they started making funny noises too. "Ah, a bear! Ah, 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 ah!" Marvin was scared, so he quickly climbed back out the way he came and ran off to the forest. He was confused. He couldn't even get a hug from a bear hugger. Then he realised he didn't know where he was, and he didn't know the way back home. Marvin felt lonelier than ever. He started to sniff as big tears rolled down his cheeks. Poor Marvin. He doesn't mean to scare. He's just a bear in need of some care from someone big or as small as a bug. He's not fussed. All he wants is a hug. Suddenly, Marvin heard some rustling in the leaves behind him. He turned around to see another bear. The other bear looked at Marvin's sad eyes and the tears rolling down Marvin's cheeks. And then the other bear smiled and reached out her paws to Marvin, and she said, "Hug." I think the other bear could tell that Marvin was in need of a hug. I'm glad Marvin got his hug, and it looks like he's made a friend as well. I kind of wrote this story because I know at the moment there's a lot of people that we aren't able to go and visit, and we're not allowed to go and see. People that we love and miss a lot. So it might be grandparents or aunties, uncles, friends, cousins. So yeah, there's a lot of people that we would quite like to hug at the moment, and sadly we can't, because we've got to keep ourselves safe and keep them safe. So just for the moment, we need to find other ways to show those people that we care and that we're thinking of them, and other ways to put a smile on their face. So can you think of any ideas? What else could you do now that you can't hug them? You could draw them a picture and send it to them. That would make them smile. Or you could call them up, or write to them, yeah. Or you could even do a Skype call or a Zoom call. So that's like talking on the telephone, but you can see each other. And if you're doing a Zoom call or a Skype call, maybe you could give yourself a big squeeze like this. And they could do the same as well. And it's almost a little bit like you're giving each other a hug. Now, if you are in need of a hug, I hope you've got people at home who can give you one. I'm sure you do. Can you remember what you might need to do? You could put the biggest smile on your face, stretch out your arms and say, "Hug." Or maybe even "hug please," because I know you're a bit more polite than Marvin. He needs to learn some manners, doesn't he? So yeah, there might be also people at home who are in need of a hug. So just make sure you're checking up on your family, and if they are in need of a hug, then give them a big squeeze. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the story today. Make sure you're staying safe, and I hope that I will see you again for another story soon. Bye.